EU states crack down on own pro-Russia leaders. Estonia jails anti-NATO politicians for treason. Koos Party puppet of Russia, political quake in pro-Kyiv nation. A political earthquake rocked NATO nation Estonia after Tallinn launched a surprise and sweeping crackdown on its very own political leaders, leveling big charges like working on the behest of Russia. At the center of the storm, the Koos Party, an openly anti-NATO political group. An Estonian court handed down heavy prison sentences to the leaders of the Koos Party, convicted of working on behalf of Russia to undermine the Baltic states' security. The Harju District Court sentenced Ivo Peterson, co-founder of the Koos Party, to 14 years in prison for treason. Peterson's associates Dmitry Rutsi and Andrei Andronov also received sentences of 11 years and 11 years and 6 months, respectively. Notably, all three denied any wrongdoing and said they would appeal the verdict. State prosecutor Trinu Olev Os alleged that the defendants spread narratives supporting Russia's foreign and security policy intended to undermine public trust in NATO and Estonia's military aid to Ukraine. The case intensified scrutiny of Peterson after his controversial trip in 2023 to Donetsk, a territory Estonia recognizes as occupied Ukrainian land. Russia annexed parts of Donetsk from Ukraine during the early months of the war. Peterson had said at the time that he was gathering information about the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. There are two sides to every conflict, but the information we receive from Estonian media is one-sided. All of our journalists support Kyiv, which often comes across as propaganda. Here is also a list of key or rather shocking demands from Koos Party, which was founded just 3 years ago. It advocates positions that alarm Estonia's security establishment, like an exit from NATO, along with declaring neutral status. Koos Party has meanwhile rejected the allegations against its members. It argues that prosecutors had failed to present concrete proof that their actions had caused real damage to Estonia's constitutional order or security. The convictions come at a moment of heightened tension. Estonia is one of Ukraine's top supporters and has been pushing for further militarization of Europe. Just months ago, Estonia and Romania had claimed incursions by Russian drones and military aircraft into their airspace. The violations have triggered a serious alarm. Both nations even invoked Article 4, a rarely used mechanism that calls for urgent consultations among ally members.
If someone is in NATO's airspace for 12 minutes, that shows that this is a really long time. And we needed to react. So of course that shows also the importance of the air patrolling mission what we have in the Baltic states, and of course we need to see now how we can move on with the eastern sentry, as Ukraine has been in this fight for more than 3 years. They still cannot see and catch around 20-25% of the drones. So, of course, the industry has to help us here how to intercept those drones. And we know also that the Garand 3 type of drones, which are using also the jet engines, are on the battlefield already today. So the industry has to work here very intensively, because I believe that all of the countries have the financing for that. I expect all of the European countries will announce some good news because, as I said, 4 packages, each worth of around $500 million, have been agreed. Nordic-Baltic initiative, Nordic-Baltic package will be hopefully done very soon, maybe even today, let's see. But the reality is that the share of the US contributions to Ukraine has decreased significantly this year.
This urgency of the strengthening defense, among other things, we are purchasing 64 F-35 fighter jets. We are buying new Navy's warships. We are also starting a new significant land forces reform. We are also reforming our conscript system so that we are raising the total reserve of our defense forces to over 1 million reservists. This week we are giving a new support package for Ukraine, and we have also decided to join to the Pearl initiative because we see that it's crucial that the Ukraine gets the critical US weapons, and they have said that Europeans must pay the war, what is going on in our continent, and that's why Europeans have to find the money also for that. The US part and of course the European part. And now everyone has to find the money because this is a crucial moment. And the message is clear from the United States that the United States is providing these arms, but Europeans have to pay the Ukraine support overall sums.
Should the US provide tomahawks to Ukraine, and what difference would they make?
Well, that decision comes from the White House, but how we see it, that the long-range weapons are critical for Ukraine, and they will have a clear impact to the warfare if they will have them.
Number two is to make sure that NATO has a strong ability to deter and defend. We strongly welcome Eastern Century. Sweden stands ready to contribute to Eastern Century as well. The third point, also strengthening SACEUR's mandate to move around assets and capability within allied territory. This is very important. Also assuring that we have the right rules of engagement for SACEUR, also to be operating and controlling aircrafts on allied territory. So there's a few things that we're going to be mentioning today, and of course Sweden is very committed to Ukraine support. We welcome the Pearl initiative, and we stand ready also to contribute, make new contributions to Pearl.
Will Sweden send Gripen to Ukraine?
We don't exclude that possibility, but of course, as you might know, we were advised by the Air Force Coalition to wait with such measures and then instead focusing on our airborne early sensors. And that's something that we are providing to the Ukrainians, which will provide a capability for the Ukrainians to do command and control of the F-16, but I don't exclude the possibilities for Gripen in the future.
Reacting sharply, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova labeled Estonia one of the most hostile countries in June and accused Tallinn of spreading myths and falsehoods about the supposed threat from the east. But Estonia is unmoved. The message was clear. In a time of war on Europe's doorstep, political dissent that aligns with Moscow will not be tolerated. For Estonia, this is not politics, this is national security.